Welcome to Unapologetically Badass, the podcast for women over 40 who are done dimming their light. I'm your host, Renee Fleming, coach, queen, and master of the midlife glow up. Solo chats, epic guests, no filter. Let's freaking go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of Unapologetically Badass. I am your host, Renee Fleming, and I am thrilled to have this powerhouse, brilliant woman, KJ Blattenbauer. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. That was a great introduction. I'm ready to go now.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. So I have, connected with you once. I love social media for the good that it can do, right? We focus on the good, but your journey, seeing everything you've done. Why don't we just start from the beginning? How about you introduce yourself?
From the very beginning?
Well, share what you do now, and then we'll kind of get into it.
Perfect. I am a publicist. I've been doing public relations across every industry for 28 years before the internet. Wow. I was doing PR, like still phone books. Kids don't even know what those are these days. I was looking up addresses and phone books. But I've been doing public relations for 28 years. I started with an international PR agency. I went bigger agencies. I went smaller agencies. I've been in corporate America. I did crisis communications for a long time for Fortune 50 companies. And then I decided I wanted to focus on fun things. So I moved into the health and fitness space. Along the way, I changed up my life. I got divorced. I was freezing cold in Minnesota. So I moved to a city where I knew absolutely no one. I'd been twice to work events. I moved into an apartment sight unseen. And I ended up in San Diego without a career, which don't recommend. Thinking, how hard can it be to find a job? Well, in California, it's very hard to find a job that supports the lifestyle I had become accustomed to. And so I just started cold calling people I thought would be cool to work with, brands that I admired. And by the end of that first week, I had 13 clients and was incorporating a business. So I've had my own PR agency. In December 2025, it'll be 14 years.
Congratulations. Talk about resilient. You went from Minnesota.
Yes.
Cool. And I've got girlfriends there, so they call it like Minnesota, right?
Yeah, yep.
Minnesota. So you went from there and you're like, okay, I'm going to just decide to go somewhere warmer. And how did you choose San Diego?
I'd been there for 2 events in the last year, and it was just, it's always sunny and 70. How can you be miserable if it's always sunny and 70? Yep. Plus, in Minnesota, winters are very cold. It was January. My feet were frozen. So basically, I had cold feet, and I jumped to warmer temperatures.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. And to be able to be so resilient or stubborn? Like, how do you, because so many people get stuck going like, I'm scared. And I love that book, 3 Feet from Gold. I'm always talking about it because when people are like, they're so close, but then they pull back from the fear. How did you overcome that?
I think that I wouldn't say that I'm the opposite of most people, but I think most of my decisions are driven by fear, like fear of not doing it, like sitting in a, well, what if, I don't want to be on my deathbed and think, what would have happened if I tried this? Or why didn't I try that? I want to be like, okay, I tried this, it didn't work. Because the worst thing that you can do, we're taught very early that the worst thing that you can do is fail at something. And I must have missed that talk somewhere because I believe in the business side of things. You try everything in a startup, you run it till the wheels fall off. You want it to fail as quickly as possible so you can adjust and have it move forward. And so I think somewhere in grade school, I missed that failure talk. And so my parents told me I could be whatever I wanted to be, and it went right to my head. And so the delusion is probably real, but it comes from how hard can it be? Like, how hard can that be? I will figure things out. And if I don't figure things out, I don't drink coffee, but I'm sure I could be a great barista at Starbucks. I like people. I love talking. I'll chat my day away and pour you a coffee. So if everything doesn't work out for me, there's always going to be a job somewhere that's hiring.
I love that. I am definitely cut from the same cloth where I'm always saying things are figure outable. Like if it's figure outable. You're going to, there's no such thing as failure because it's just additional learning experiences to get you to where you're meant to be. It's
true. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think I'm a child of, I'm in my mid-40s, I'm a child of the '80s, we were raised on Disney movies, we're gonna be princesses, someone's gonna step in and save us, and the reality is no one's gonna save you, you gotta save yourself. If you don't like something, the only person responsible for changing it, whether it's your life, your relationships, your trajectory, just hobbies, whatever it is, you are the person that has to change that. No one's gonna fix it for you, and so I kind of apply that to my life as well.
Yes, yes. I that resonates so much with me. I'm always saying with, team having built network marketing businesses and then with clients and stuff,
Mhm.
always sharing, I am not responsible for your success.
Right, right.
That's the key. Like as soon
Mhm.
as somebody understands that they're responsible for everything, it just makes things, I don't know, I perceive that as once I accepted that, is I perceive that as a gift. Like I get to
Yes.
try so many different things.
Mhm. Yeah.
But how do we help women? How do you help your clients understand that? Because so many people get frozen and stay in the fear.
I think it's showing the alternative to them of you could either stay here and be stuck, and this is what life looks like, or here's the alternative of where you could be. I pride myself with my girlfriends, with my clients, with family members. It's probably unsolicited advice, most of them don't want, but I like to like, I'm a hype girl, I'm gonna pep talk you.
Yeah.
I might give you like, don't come to me about shopping, I'm gonna tell you to buy whatever it is. But for other things, I'm gonna be real with you, I'm gonna be blunt, but it's gonna come from the heart, and I'm gonna say, like, "This is gonna be really hard, but I think you'd be amazing at it."
Yeah.
Or, "This might not be for you because you hate people, so why would you wanna be people focused in something?" So I just think it's being honest with people and coming from a place of service and hope, but also everyone has a story to tell.
Mhm.
Everyone is a big deal, and we all need to start acting like it. And not in a conceited, fame-seeking way, but
Right.
in a I have a gift, and if I can help you with my gift to achieve your dreams, then I'm gonna move mountains to do that. Like, nothing is stopping me. Even if you're like, "Hey, KJ, maybe I don't need your help," I'm probably still gonna be stubborn and, like, be like, "No, I think you really do. Here, let me help you." Um, I just think that we're taught, especially as women, that we stay in our box. You can be a mom, but if you're a working mom, then we judge you because you're not good at being a mom or you're not good at working. You don't get to do both. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. You can do both. Who needs work-life balance? Be good at one thing one day, be good at another thing another day. Especially if you're a working mom, like you're teaching your daughters, you're teaching your sons, you're teaching people around you. You can be more than one thing, but also like look at all my mom achieved. While she was also giving me amazing childhood. Things of that nature. I think it's showing people they're only as limited by their beliefs, but also showing them how amazing they are. So if you introduce me to your best friend and say she baked, I'm like, "Oh, what do you do?" And she'd be like, "Oh, I bake." And you'd say, "She doesn't bake. She makes the best cakes. Her pies are to die for. There's a line out the door." When like you'd rave about your best friend. I try
Mhm.
and teach my clients to talk to themselves and to talk about themselves like they're bragging about their best friend.
That's powerful. But how do you help them balance bragging about themselves because they want to share that they have, opportunities at business or whatever for other people without sounding braggy?
It's a mindset shift. So, if you feel like you're bragging, it has to come from a different place. We're all gonna feel like we're bragging because we were taught to speak up and to toot our own horn, that is bragging. If it comes from a conceitful place, if you're only in it for yourself, no. If you're coming from a place of service or you're really just excited about what you did, talking about your business, talking about your achievements, talking about your skills, you're sharing your passion with the world. And whatever it is you do, whether you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a baker, you're creating crafts and you have an amazing Etsy store, you are changing people's lives. It's one small word, one small phrase, one small gift, one small token, something beautiful that they can look at every day. You are altering the trajectory for someone else. So for you to stay silent, for you to not brag, for you to not boast, for you to not talk about your gift, you're hindering other people. And no one wants to do that. We want to help everyone else succeed. Like, we're women, we want to lift the next woman up with us. So
Right.
by staying silent, I tell my friends, I tell my clients, I'm telling your listeners right now, by staying silent and hiding in the shadows and shrinking yourself to fit in the box that people want you to fit in, you are robbing the world of your gifts. You're keeping yourself small, and you're holding back other people. Don't hold yourself back. Don't hold back others. Step into the spotlight and confidently tell us who you are, what you do, what your goals are, and all the ways you're achieving them.
I love that. And that's done so unapologetically. Like you just exude, yeah, it's unapologetic. Because for so long, women, whether we put ourselves in the box or we were told to be in the box, or that's how we were raised, is, I know I
Mhm.
was raised, kids should be seen and not heard. Like, and
Yeah,
so
right?
when that happens and it's over and over and over, you tend to like try to be in the shadows for a bit, but I also think that we as women, if we are promoting ourselves in, like you said, a heartfelt way, because we
Mhm.
have gifts to share,
Right.
if somebody else doesn't receive it that way,
Mhm.
we say that's on them.
Yeah, that's
That
and it really is, if you've ever been in therapy, the basis of therapy, at some point, everyone's therapist has said to them, "It's none of your business what other people think of you." Like, it's not. And it's so true, and once you come to terms with that, once you realize that, once you can start applying that in your life. I'm from a very small town in North Dakota, a very small town. Most of the people I grew up with, they have not left that small town, and it works for them.
Mhm.
I never wanted to stay there. I never wanted to be there. I wanted to get out as quickly as I could. And when you take that aptitude, they probably don't do it anymore in high school. Back in the day when we were old, in high school, we had to take that aptitude test. Like, what profession would you be
Yeah,
good at? And I had hopes and like astronaut, scientist, whatever. And it's like, you're going to be a great secretary.
yeah.
And I just remember telling my dad that, and he was like, incensed. And in my head, though, I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm not good enough for those other professions. And then when I went to college, I was going to study pre law. And I had a professor, I was taking a journalism class because secretly I wanted to be the next Diane Sawyer. That's what I wanted to be. And one of my professors said to my face, "Some people are meant to be behind the scenes. You don't have a face for television." And I believed him. I believed him. I literally didn't take another journalism class. I transferred to all the behind the scenes things. I started working in radio because if you don't know, and your world, like my world was small before I
Yeah.
got to school and before you get to your first job, like you only know what people are telling you, the environments you put yourself in. And when you let someone trap you in that box, it just robbed my confidence. But once I got out in the world, once I started doing the PR stuff, which I love doing, and now I'm glad I'm not in front of the camera. But um as a woman, somewhere in your late 20s, for sure in your 30s, but definitely by 40s, you no longer care
Yeah.
what anyone thinks about you. You're confident in yourself. And so the person I am showing up today is not the person that I was in my early 20s. It has taken me a lot of time and energy and work to be
Mhm.
ready to be like, this is who I am. You either like me or you don't. I either repel you or you want to know what I'm about. Like, I hope you buy my offerings. I know they can help you. I hope you'll purchase my book. But if you're repulsed by me, all right, like,
Yeah.
I know who my people are.
Yes, yes. And that confidence, you're right, it does come with age as well. I mean,
Mhm.
and that is such a gift where we can go, you know what? I don't give a shit what you think about me.
No,
I
no.
know I'm a good person. I know I've got gifts to offer. If you
Mhm.
don't want it, keep
Right, right.
swiping. That's okay. I'll find my people.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
room for all of us. There's
It's
room for all of us.
right. And what do you say? Do you have, so, okay, let's talk about PR. How did you get into PR? Is that what you went to school for? Because you transitioned out of law and journalism and
So I was gonna go pre-law like everyone else in the world. I was gonna be a lawyer.
yeah.
I was gonna get through school fast. I was gonna take a semester off. I think in my head I thought I was gonna tour Europe, and then I was gonna come back. I was gonna go to law school. Like, sky's the limit. I think I took like I graduated early. I took one pre-law class, never went to Europe, hated my law class, hated it. Like, why are we arguing? This is so boring. Like, no. But I had my school is small was small. My college was small. And so we had half semesters where you tried different things. Like, it was journalism, it was public relations. So we probably didn't even scratch the surface of PR, but I was intrigued by it. And when I first got to campus, I was an athlete. My work study job as part of the athletic program was in the promotions and publicity and sports office. And so I got to learn all about promoting, loosely PR, that sort of thing. And I loved everything about it. So the second I graduated early, I took a little bit of time off and I was like, I need to work. Like, I'm not going to move back in with my parents. Like, because of the horror of horrors, moving back in with your parents after living solo in college. So I applied, but in PR back then, you had to start with an internship, a horribly paid, could not survive on it, like $7 an hour
Oh, yeah.
PR internship, where you're basically getting coffee and getting people's laundry and dry cleaning, and you're the gopher, but
Mhm.
you got to learn hands-on what to do. And so I think at the time the tech bubble was about to burst, there were 125 people that applied for the internship that I wanted. I was definitely not the most trained. I
Mhm.
definitely was not the most skilled. I barely knew what PR was, but I was the only person that hand wrote a thank you note after my interview, and they told me that's the only reason I got the job.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. So you made yourself stand out,
Well, yeah, I think
and
I
that's
think
PR.
how you do anything is how you do everything. So I think that that showed them that I didn't just want the job to say I had the job. I was gonna show up, I was gonna work hard, I was gonna put in the extra effort after, but I also knew customer service, because a huge part of public relations is the relationships. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what the whole tenet of it is. Like, I don't have to be a perfect writer, I don't have to be the most creative, but I do have to know how to read people and interact with them, and I think that part, I hope that that's the part that shone through. But so that's how I started my PR career. Stumbled into it.
Wow. I frozen? Did I just freeze?
You
Am I
just
back?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. We have no storms or anything, but technology, and here's how we pivot.
Yep.
People think PR is only for the big companies,
Mhm.
right? So how do you help an entrepreneur? Because a lot of people think, well, I'm too small and
Right.
I can't afford PR. I don't know what PR is. Like,
Right.
kind of give them an idea of what this is.
Sure. So PR is basically hyping up your brand. If you have a website or an offering or a store, you're probably doing SEO. You're probably maybe running digital ads. You post on social media, hoping and hoping and hoping to go viral. PR is another tenet of that. And that is having a third party, someone like me or someone like the media, endorse your brand or your store or what you have going on. We used to call it the good housekeeping seal of approval, where if you had a product, good housekeeping would give you the literal seal of
Yeah.
approval. You'd put it before websites, you'd put it everywhere on all your materials. And that's how people knew you were legit. That's
Mhm.
what PR is. Because when I say, "Oh, hey, Renee, I'm amazing at public relations," you're like, "But are you?" Because PR people we have a bad reputation. But if you heard from other people, or if you saw me on other podcasts, or if you saw me in like Forbes, you'd be like, "Oh, she really does know what she's talking about."
Right.
That's the gravitas that comes with public relations and having someone else brag about you, in essence. I think a lot of people think it's only for celebrities, it's only for big brands, it's only for people who are in trouble. But the truth of the matter is, public relations and how I've structured my business, it's best for people who are just starting up from 0 to 6 or 7 figures. Like, sure, a lot of my clients, they are 6 and 7-figure earners. I have worked with celebrities, I've worked with big names. But why I started my own business and what I love the most is the underdog, the small business, the single entrepreneur. I have authors, I have artists, I have interior designers, I have coaches, and I have amazing people who are just starting a business, and small businesses are the backbone of our country. There
Yeah.
are so many of them, and they deserve to have their stories heard, because their stories are the ones of grit and of being
Right.
badasses and of
Mm.
achieving their dreams and of coming from nothing and building something. And I think that those stories deserve to be heard so much more. Like, I don't care what Coca-Cola is doing. Like,
Yeah.
don't change your recipe, but other than that, good for you, Coca-Cola. Like, you should be giving back to the world. You're making all the money. But, Susie down the street that just started a pottery thing to help women in need, that's the story I want to hear. That's the story that should be on the news. That's the feel good story that people love. That's the person that needs public relations. So I try and structure all of my offerings. Look, I try and give as much information for free as I can, because I think that promoting your business, I want to help people achieve their dreams. I've achieved mine. It feels great. And I
Yeah.
want other people to feel that sort of success. And so I structure my businesses I give away as much information as I can free. I'm not going to ever turn down a speaking appearance or a podcast appearance to help spread the message.
Mhm.
But also my services, I'm not charging six figures for you to get, like, it's not a $10,000 PR retainer.
Yeah.
Whether I coach you one-on-one, whether we meet just once, whether I work with you ongoing, I want people to be able to easily promote and learn what to do. So one day they don't need me anymore.
Mhm. That's exactly it. Just like I can relate it to me having my mom hat on. As I raise kids, it's to the
Mhm.
point where you don't need me anymore. And
Yeah.
if that works, then I've done my job. And the
Mhm.
same thing coaching other women to build their business. If you don't need me, beautiful. This means that it worked. Like it's all good. And I love the fact that you help the small businesses. I tried to structure even my coaching to really help that. I remember it wasn't too long, 13 years went by fast from my divorce, but divorce, stay-at-home mom, I didn't have a pot to piss in as far as extra money
Yep.
to invest in myself. And that is the most daunting thing. So trying to keep, the cost down for clients and stuff and be able to share real practical advice for free, help them because I always say the rising tide lifts all boats, right?
Yeah.
We want women to succeed. That's why I created this podcast. I wanted to give women the opportunity to share their journey because we all go through shit.
Yes.
If
Yes.
we don't, I mean, we're not going to leave this life unscathed.
No.
But it's what did we go through? What is our story? How did we pivot? Like you went, so what other ish did you go through to make you so resilient to build this brand of yours?
I just
Probably the divorce
well,
too.
a divorce will change you, right? Like, it's a divorce for I'm again, small town, North Dakota, Midwest. You go to college, you get married immediately out of college, you have 2.5 kids in a yellow lab by 24, and if you haven't, you've failed. I did not have that by 24. I
Mhm.
got married late, and to be perfectly honest, married a wonderful person that I had no business being married to. We were oil and water. It just, we were probably like two lonely people who kind of liked each other. And in Midwestern standards, we were aging out of the system. We just had to get hitched
Yeah.
and get on.
Oh, okay.
And I think when you when family, when marriage, when everything is just the main tenant from where you come from, to have to admit that you're getting divorced to people, it feels like failure of all magnitudes, when in the scheme of things, most marriages end in failure. Not a lot of us are good at picking the right person the first time.
Yeah.
So, should it be the be all end all? No. Was it the be all end all? No. But I think when I was going through it at the time, I thought it was the end of the world.
Mhm.
I've had horrible client situations where, it didn't work out or it wasn't a good pairing. And I thought that was also the end of the world. Look, I once sent out an email to 55,000 US bank employees about financial assets, and I forgot the T. And I was the asses girl for like 2 years at that
Oh,
job. Yeah. So, also thought I was gonna die.
yeah.
Horrific. Did anyone die? No. I laugh about it now, sharing the story. I'm sure my bosses are still calling me the asses girl because they're probably still at US Bank. But I think I have seen in my crisis communications, I have been with people on the worst day of their lives when either they've done something, they've had an accident, they've had someone impact their livelihood in a way that they might never get to have a career again. Everything they've worked for might be gone. They might not be able to support their family. The darkest days of their lives, I've held people's hand through that, but I've also gotten to be with people on the best day of their lives. Their first magazine cover, seeing their name on a marquee for the first time, like getting their first award or just being recognized for something that they do. And so I think that's the yin and the yang. I've seen the worst dregs of humanity and what other humans can do to each other, and I've had to pull people out of that in my profession. I've had people come for me like, you're nobody till someone accuses you of stealing their content,
Yeah.
tries to sue you, comes for your money, you had to deal with a bad employee thing. Like, we've all it's part of being it's show business, baby. Like, that's part
Mhm.
of what it is, and you kind of have to roll with those punches. And I think that all of those things have shaped me into who I am. Like, if the IRS wants to come for all your money, and you have to get a lawyer, you're going to grow up real quick. You're going to get some strong skin. If you're on social media and everyone's attacking you for something you didn't even say or for being associated with someone, you get a thick skin real fast. But a part of it too is everybody's famous in a small town. No matter what you do, people are going to talk about you. So, as Barnum Bailey used to say, you can either lead the parade or you can just get chased out of town. And you know what? No matter what I do, I am leading that parade. I will go out on my own accord and no one's going to tell me otherwise. And whether I'm stupid or stubborn or just bold, that's for someone else to decide, because I think that sounds like a pretty badass way to go.
That it definitely is a badass way to go. There's so much synergy. I'm like, I love this space because for me, selfishly,
Mhm.
I've been able to meet so many incredible women like you. So I feel that this is a blessing. Like there's reasons why people come into our lives for sure.
Mhm.
And your personality, your vibe, your resilience, it is such synergistic with who I am. And like, I have goosebumps. So I'm so super excited for you. Um, Tell us about your book.
My book. My book
Oh,
is called Pitchworthy, and
yeah.
it is half pep talk, like we talked about, stepping into the spotlight, owning your story,
Yeah.
and it's half the basic tenets of public relations. Like here's literally 20 chapters and the steps you can take slowly, quickly, however you want to do it. But it boils down what PR is, how you can use it, whether you have a startup or whether you've been in business for 20 years. Like here's the way you spin your story. If you get into a crisis, here's the way you manage a crisis. Here's how we deal with social media trolls. Just how you find your target audience,
Yeah.
what to do when you're we've all been there, right? We've all had a business where you're just starting out, you're investing everything in like the systems and the setup, and maybe you have to do products and prototypes, and you're also maybe managing a household, and it's like, oh my God, I got to spend $50 more on this. I got, like money's going out, not enough's coming in. And you're like, I just want someone to notice my business. Pitchworthy is the book for you. That is a book that is going to teach you all the things, and it comes out in January.
That is so exciting. That is so exciting. So, okay, so everyone, you're going to grab Pitchworthy, and where will they be able to purchase Pitchworthy?
Pitchworthy will be available on Amazon and everywhere else books are sold, hopefully, if it does well enough on Amazon.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. And what about that book that you have right behind you?
Oh, my How to Be a Media Darling. Okay, so this is a great story. You're going to love this.
Yeah.
Public relations, it only works in certain environments, right? So like there'll be news cycles that shut down. So during COVID, everyone was just talking about COVID. So if it wasn't health and fitness related, you weren't really, PR people weren't working too hard. There just was nothing, we would try and find a good news stories, but everyone wanted to talk about COVID.
Mhm.
I wanted to write a book. I always wanted to write a book. I'm like, how hard can it be to write a book? Turns out real hard.
Right.
But during one of the first times Trump was president and they tried to impeach him, there was a solid week where all news coverage was about the impeachment. It was all that was on. I think I had a cold at the time, and so I was on bed rest. So I'm like, you know what? Now's a great time to write my book. And so I wrote How to Be a Media Darling. You can get it right now on Amazon, but it is 10 steps to public relations, how to get started. And yeah, so I wrote it in 3 days, put it all up there, self-published, and she's out the door. But Pitchworthy is my new book, and it's basically how to be a media darling on steroids, plus some, and then the pep talk, because I think we all need a little bit of a push.
Yes, yes, for sure. I did and I can relate with, creating that story. I wrote a book, Unapologetically Badass, and it's Fuck the Rules, Wear the Crown,
Yeah.
on Amazon, self-published, but it was the fact of just like this, how I wanted a platform. I shared parts of my story
Mhm.
and the ish that I went through, but what I learned from it, how I grew from it, how I changed that narrative as a learning experience with self-reflection points. So I wanted the reader to really then, okay, absorb it, and then figure, what is there any synergy to their life and what they've gone through and how can they work through it. So, but it was really, it doesn't it feel good to put it out there? Like
It
after
feels
I did it felt so good.
Well, it feels so good out there, and everyone's like, "Oh, I want to write a book," and less than 3% of the population actually write a book. So look at us, we're authors. That's pretty amazing. I love authors. But I think
Mhm.
the catalyst for me to write the second book was not, oh, I need to write a second book. One of my girlfriends that is big into gifting, she's like, I love your book. It's great. But just truth be told, to like the people that I keep in my environment, she just looked at me and she said, it's really ugly. I can't gift your book. It's just not giftable. And like, she's the queen of gifting. So I was
Mhm.
like, I wasn't even offended. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it is really ugly. And she's like, I think you should redo the cover at a minimum. And then when I got in there, I'm like, no, I'm redoing this whole book. And so that was this summer, the whole book. And now hot pink cover, it looks amazing. I'm so excited. My friend has blessed it. This one is not ugly. It is giftable. So
Yeah,
that was the
but
catalyst for
see, that's the journey.
yeah,
It's like you put yourself out there, you wrote
mhm,
it, you did it, and you're like, okay, maybe there's things I could have done differently. And
right.
now you're like, well, I'm not going to dwell on I coulda, shoulda, woulda. You're like, I'm going to now do another.
Yeah, right. And I think part of it is surrounding yourself by the people who aren't going to yes you to death. They're going to be real with about how things are, right? Because we all need the tough love friend.
Yeah.
But I also think it's being comfortable enough in yourself to taking that criticism on. Like I could have been like, "Oh, thanks, Steph. You're a jerk. My book's ugly. Have you written a book?" But I wasn't like that. My immediate thought was, "Oh my God, she's right. It
Yeah.
is ugly." And
Yeah.
here we are now, beautiful, better things.
I love that. I've gotten some feedback recently because AI is,
Yeah.
obviously
Hmm.
it's I've love-hate relationship, and I think a lot of people do, right?
Right.
It's scary to think of where that is going.
Hmm.
But for social media and for content, AI can be a great thing to
Right.
I developed my AI twin, a clone of me, so
Hmm.
that it can create video content, static photos, whatever. But some of the AI, it definitely is a version of me,
Yep.
but I don't tell people like this is me. It's obvious it's a version,
Right.
but definitely get some criticism and feedback about the AI versions, and it's just
Well, I think it's a tool. I think if everyone took a step back and looked at it, AI is another tool that can
yeah,
help you do business faster. Should it replace you? No, but can it help you be more efficient? Great. That's what it's for. I
right.
don't think authors should use AI to completely write their book, but
No.
maybe it could finesse a few paragraphs here or there.
Yeah.
I definitely worry in some aspects that AI is going to take over the world, but I try not to lose sleep over it. I know that I've had people say to my face, "Well, I don't need you. I just ask AI what to do." And yeah, you could if you want to sound like every other person that's out there with 900 M dashes, because that's what AI is. Because I think what people forget is the human aspect is taken out because it's technology.
Mhm.
And if you no matter what you're searching, no matter what platform you use, the basis for AI was a couple of humans and their mindset and their core beliefs and their values. And that's no matter what you put into AI, that's what's coming out. So, yeah, could you use AI and have them be your publicist? Sure. Could it maybe help you land some media gigs? I would hope so. Otherwise, you're using AI wrong. But
Mhm.
um, I don't think it's ever going to, it's never going to erase a public relations professional, an advertising professional, even copywriters. Like you're taking the human aspect out of things
Yeah.
when I was using AI. And yeah, if I had a person that if I had the time or energy and I wasn't vain, would I make myself a body double in AI that looked just like me so I could record videos faster? Yeah, I probably should. I could probably share more information that way. Um, I just don't the idea of myself as a clone,
Mhm.
I can't wrap my head around it right now. It kinda
Yeah.
creeps me out. I'm not there yet, but you know what? I might be tired in a month, and I might be like, "Hey, Renee, I got a clone, look at her," you know?
Right, exactly. Well, and that's the thing, AI is not going to replace you can't replace that human connection.
Mm-mm.
And whether you hire somebody for PR, for coaching, for whatever it is, being able to bounce ideas off of somebody that has done it and
Yeah,
is doing it and has a personal investment in the other person's success because we truly want others to succeed.
right.
AI doesn't give a shit whether or not you
No,
succeed or you fail. It's a robot. It's a machine.
it doesn't even know
So
how to use commas, like, it's not
ex-
even using commas correctly.
yes,
M
yeah.
dashing its life away.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, it's only going to be as good as we want it to be. And if we use it just as an extra tool, not to replace,
Mhm.
then it's all good. except for that new Neo, I think I saw that folds clothes and washes dishes
I
and
mean, come do my laundry,
I
fine.
know. I was kind of thinking, I'm like, maybe if it, I don't know if it climbs the stairs and stuff like that and can go upstairs and do it and get it.
I mean, do I really need robots to take over? No, but do I always forget to take my towels out of the dryer? Also, yes.
Right? Exactly. I don't know. I was kind of like, wait, do I get a Neo? My mind is always thinking business. Do I get a Neo and then rent her out?
Yeah, look at you. Look at you in those revenue streams.
Right? I mean, why not add another one? I'm like, no,
Exactly.
that's then I had to sit back and go, no, that's not my that's not my mission in the world. So what else is next for you?
I am the book. I'm finishing up the book, right? So
Yeah.
we're still in the end of the editing phase. I need to go through and read it for like the 27th time and make sure everything's perfect. That'll come out in January. I have a couple speaking gigs lined up for next year. I'm really excited about speaking at a few women's conferences. And then I might be dabbling in the podcast world come spring.
That is wonderful. Have you thought of, I know you can't, like, you're not going to say the name, but have you thought of certain names and stuff?
I have been toying with this for years, and I keep talking myself out of it by like telling myself, PR is boring, no one cares, which is a lie. People do care, they don't understand it. But I also think that there's a huge vehicle for having small business owners come on. Tell me what your problem is. Let me give you free advice. Because not only can it help them, but it can help other people listening that might be in the same boat or might be in the same industry. But I've been trying to not have a podcast since 2019, and I keep saying no, and I keep saying no, and I keep using excuse like no one was going to care or everyone has a podcast. And the truth of the matter is, podcasts are all I'm consuming. So why would I not also have one?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, it's that fear. Like
Yeah.
I didn't start the podcast to become podcast famous. I didn't do and to become known. If I could help one woman, that's how I do everything. If I could help one woman see themselves in my guest journey
Yep.
and make a decision to do something with that, then fantastic.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I think that the fact that there are so many podcasts out there prove that people like podcasts. But
Yeah.
when you look at it, there are so many podcasts that don't make it past 3 episodes or 5 episodes or 8 episodes. So if I can make it past 8 episodes, I've already achieved more than a lot of other podcasters.
Absolutely.
I can do 8 episodes, no problem. Yeah.
Absolutely. My 57th episode dropped today, actually, as of this recording.
Look at
So,
you. You
yes.
see, overachiever.
Yep, overachieve. Absolutely. It's a Capricorn in me, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to get my hands on the book. I can't wait for January. This is going to be exciting. I will keep looking for it for sure. I'm confident this is not the last time that we speak for sure. I'd love to have you back on too.
Oh, thank you. It's been fun. It's been fun talking about all sorts of things with you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So everyone, where can they want to do business with you? They want to follow you for tips. How can they get in touch with you?
They can go to my website, Hearsay PR. That's HEARSAYPR.com. And if you go to HEARSAYPR.com/freebie, I have a couple PR freebies for you to download. Or you can follow me on Instagram at KJ Blattenbauer.
Fantastic. Please, everyone, go follow KJ. Give her lots of love and support. Can't wait to get your book. And everyone, go buy her book. It is called Pitchworthy. It'll be on Amazon in January. Get ready. KJ, thank you very, very much for your time. Thrilled to share your story. And I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you.
And everyone, stay tuned for the next Unapologetically Badass. We have got a jam-packed sessions of amazing, amazing women coming to you, and I just am thrilled. So please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Thanks again. Have a good one, all. Well, that's a wrap for today, Queen. But don't just walk away inspired, walk away activated. If this episode lit a fire under your fabulous ass, hit that follow button, leave a review, and share it with your fiercest ride or die. Your support helps this podcast reach even more women who are ready to reclaim their power. And hey, if you're ready to look, feel, and earn like $1 million freaking bucks, I've got an entire badass empire waiting for you. From confidence boosting merch to brand strategy, coaching, collagen, content, and everything in between, head on over to reneecarbonefleming.com or tap the link in the show notes. Pick your flavor of badass and let's turn midlife into your power era. Stay bold, stay unapologetic, and wear the damn crown.